Keeping you posted on our top story developing today. The markets are in a little bit of a rebound mode here, up almost 450 this morning, but gave back some of those gains. The fear, fright, and hysteria over the coronavirus seems to be creating a whisper campaign among the markets of uncertainty, and it knocked the markets down significantly a little earlier this week. And to break it all down for us, our good friend Chris Burns joins us today. He's the CEO of Dynamic Money, and he's the host of the Chris Burns Show. So money is dynamic this week, my friend, in the fact that the market's been taking it on the chin heavily. I've been telling my viewers out there, I'm not a financial advisor, I just play one on TV, but you're an expert on this stuff. I've been telling everybody, namaste, just stay calm. Sure. These things usually pass. What say you?
Monday, Tuesday, worst point drop, I think, in history, because people are feeling so much uncertainty. And I think that message of just feel peace here is important. The reason they don't is because no one knows how this is going to play out. So the president's top economic advisor comes out yesterday and says, we had this sealed, it's almost airtight, there's not going to be an issue. At the same time, the CDC coming out and saying, basically, get ready, this could be a pandemic. So nobody knows what's going to happen, and when we feel that kind of uncertainty, we want control, so we run to safety, but that could really damage your long-term portfolio.
So earlier this week, I had on my friend Derek Scott from metals.com, and he was talking about how gold was up almost 3% this week. Many people were using gold as a flight to safety asset. Are you recommending to clients in times like this to get some gold-based investments in their portfolio, or just lay low right here?
What I do with clients is talk about up front that if it's not this, I remember 4 weeks ago when it was World War III with Iran, and then before that it was, are we going to have a China trade deal? And all of those could be incredibly disruptive. So the point is this, don't waste this week. Make sure you're well diversified, even if everything turns out fine next week. Are you in a place where the next time this happens, when we see the real drop, which could be this, or it could be in 2 months from now, that you're diversified into a variety of things, which should include gold, but it's just, for me, massive diversification and a risk level that actually fits where you're at in terms of retirement. Because a lot of folks right now are sitting, after a bull market this long, you have folks in their 60s with 90% equity exposure because they feel like they're geniuses, because the last few years it's been up.
Tax cuts, deregulation, all contribute to that, but that's a good point. I think something like 10,000 people are turning 65 years old every day in America, okay? I think 1 in 4 of those people are going to live to 90, and 1 in 10 of those people are going to live to like 95. And what most people don't realize is we have this terrible retirement gap problem in America. Most people are retiring with roughly 2 years worth of income when they're going to live, you know, most of them like another 20 years.
Well, this is the first group of people ever to retire on a 401k, and nobody thinks about that. Because literally, 401k started in the late 70s. If you started working in the late 70s, you're now just hitting retirement age now. And so even though we've all talked about 401ks and retiring with money in the market and using that for income, we've never done it before. We don't have this world of pensions that our parents and grandparents had. And so understanding that, wait a minute, if we hit a major market drop right now and all of my money for retirement's in the market, what's that going to mean for 30 years?
You may sign up for the coronavirus at that point. If
That's exactly right.
Well, I can tell you this. I have been recommending to my viewers and friends that my remedy on the corona is I'm drinking 1 Corona beer per day.
You're doing well.
And that seems to be working. I'm also using the Lysol dual action wipes because they fight the human coronavirus. So that's my methods, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm still corona free.
You look healthy.
Are there ways that people, if there are buying opportunities here, where people can look at certain stocks that, oh, okay, this may be an antidote for the coronavirus, like biotechs or small growth companies that might be benefits from this?
Yeah, I mean, basically what we've seen right now is, and the most famous obviously is Apple coming out and saying, look, we're not going to have the same earnings. We've had our supply line disrupted, and you're going to see more and more companies come out that way. That's why I think you saw this morning, this bump back is just people going, well, wait a minute, there's a chance to buy now after a 2,000-point drop in essence, right? So you can go into sectors where you see this immediately having impact, like in transportation and airlines, automobile makers, et cetera, But honestly, I think we're at a place right now where we have so little certainty that I would tend to tell people, if you're well diversified already, let's just see what happens.
All right. Well, that's Chris Burns. He's the CEO of Dynamic Money. He's also the host of the Chris Burns Show. Always here for us when we need him, especially when we got these serious attacks on the market. Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you coming down today. Appreciate you being right there. And this is a fire-breathing dragon of a Woman Wednesday show, so do not go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this with woman entrepreneur Christy Lombardo, founder of FreshyFair.com, right after this.